We are in Cape Town, the mother city, where there is plenty to see and do. The borders are open after a lengthy closure, and South Africa hoping that we can keep COVID under control and get as many people back into this part of the world over the summer period as possible. Magnificent vistas wherever you care to look, and we are at DHL Newlands in Cape Town for the third game of the Carling Currie Cup. Following on from Super Rugby Unlocked, it's Western Province hosting the Bulls in the third game of this competition. Wins for the Sharks and the Lions already in this first round. A bye for the Cheetahs. And an empty Newlands plays host to this traditionally mouth-watering clash. And so much more riding on it at the moment after the result in Super Rugby Unlocked up at Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. The Sharks with a win against the Pumas last night, so carrying their points forward from Super Rugby Unlocked. They are a point ahead of the Bulls, who have a game in hand, as do Western Province. So the Stormers finishing second on the Super Rugby Unlocked log, and they carry those points forward as well. And both coaches have selected their strongest possible teams. Van Rooyen, Grobelaar and Unyakane in the front row. Johan Grobelaar back into the side. Cornel Else on the bench at hooker. The team captain by Dwayne Vermeulen, and Springboks Arno Botha and Marco van Staden alongside him in the back row. Walt Steenkamp and Ruan Nokia in the second row. Chris Smith retained at fly half, probably a week away from having Mornay Steyn back and available, but the back three full of excitement. Creel, Ishmael and Kurtley Arendse, with Cornel Hendricks and Stenman Gans growing with every outing in the Bulls midfield. And Western Province coach John Dobson has selected an all-Springbok front row, Kitsoff, Mbonambi and Malherbe. They welcome Springbok captain Sia Kolisi back to the side of the scrum, and he's joined in the back row by Ernst van Ryn and a former World Junior Player of the Year, Jana Augustus. Murat and Schikkeling have a big outing ahead of them. A couple of Springboks at halfback, Herschel Jantjies and Damian Willemse. And on the subject of back threes, Warwick Gelant, Siabelo Sanatla and Angelo Davids bringing plenty of spark of their own to this contest. If these backlines get a good share of possession, they have the ability to ignite. Dwayne Vermeulen, who's played in this wonderful competition 65 times before this evening, leads out the Bulls. And joining me in commentary for this one, former Springbok prop forward Rob Kempson. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Matty. Looking very forward to this. Can those forwards provide the platform for their backs to be unleashed? You mentioned how exciting they are on both sides, but certainly Dwayne Vermeulen and his charges, if they get any sort of platform that they got up in Pretoria, it could be a tough old day for Western Province. Loaded with Springboks, in particular that front row. It's going to be a mouth-watering battle up front.
I've heard so many fans say as well, Rob, that just wonderful to see one of the few advantages of these times that we're living in at the moment, just the number of Springboks playing in this wonderful domestic competition.
There's no question. I think both coaches have alluded to it. Currie Cup at its best when the box are in both the sides.
Well, you referenced the match up at Loftus in Super Rugby Unlocked. That game won 39 points to 6 by the Bulls, and Western Province coach John Dobson saying before this game they are still hurting. AJ Jacobs, the referee, Wengile Jadizweni and Divan Ace, the assistants. Rasta Rashavenga is in the TMO booth for this one. And the Bulls with a piece of silverware in the cabinet, securing that Super Rugby Unlocked trophy, carrying those points through. Jake White saying that they'd played the bulk of their home games across the two competitions, 4 out of the 6 in Super Rugby Unlocked. And so really important to get some points away from home. Early touch for David Creel, who hoists onto his opposite number, Warwick Gelant, who has excelled in the colours of the Stormers during Super Rugby Unlocked, and now the former Bulls player now turning out in the Currie Cup in the blue and white hoops of Western Province. Long left-footed kick from Gelant. Coming to rest just over the line and dotted down by Travis Ishmael for a 22-metre dropout. Chris Smith, the ball in hand for the Bulls, did an excellent job last week. Product of Stellenbosch University, played a great deal of varsity cup rugby and also in the colours of the Pumas. Here's Augustus carrying strongly, but a brilliant tackle on him, stopped dead in his tracks. Gelant popping up his first receiver. Beautiful read of the kick from Smith. Tackle from Herschel Yankees. Another Springbok scrum half in Ivan van Sail finding Arno Buerta on the angle. Van Sail again. First carry for Springbok tight head Trevor Nyakane.
Stop 6 blue.
4 or 5 phases and then to the boot of Smith. Claimed by Damien Willemse. Secured on the ground for Western Province. Carry from Murat with support from his lock partner, J.D. Schickerling.
Tackler. You're a good tackler.
The penalty
Good
going
tackler.
the way of Western Province. The tackler not rolling out. It was Ruan Nokia who made the tackle. And Bulls players immediately in over the ball, as you'd expect. But the tackler not giving the opportunity to place the ball.
The referee is very strict on that area of play. And allow for a quick release from the scrum halves. Not Damien Willis' best. See, into that tackle area very quickly off the line. They've generated good line speed, and then he's really got to make a much sturdier effort to get out of the mess of that breakdown.
The ever-present Bulls captain, Dwayne Vermeulen, just hovering, waiting for that opportunity. Ongyumbanambi finding Ernst van Rijn. Gelant and Siobelo Sanatla looping around. Good to see him back in a starting 15, but his pass to a fellow Blitzbok.
Rather unkind, wasn't it?
Option. Dwayne,
But good to see that
you've got an
this
option.
Western Province side is
Knock
full
on,
of running.
Line up. Good.
Shows some intent with
Line is
ball in
yours.
hand. And just the last
Hope you're
pass,
clear.
unfortunately, with a bit of a bullet above his head.
5.
Plenty of
Stay on the line. Stay on the line.
Springbok Sevens talent across these two teams, making their presence felt in the 15-man game. Johan Krobelaar with his first throw, finding Walt Steenkamp. And the Bulls mauling strongly. Work back for Ivan van Sail, but J.D. Schickerling was in the middle of that maul, making a real nuisance of himself.
Really strong work from
Knock into
Schickerling,
touch.
along with Francois Herbert, really adding his impetus to stopping of that
Oh,
maul.
just a touch. Okay. Say. Knock on. Okay. So it's a knock on. Scrum down.
So as Ivan van Sail was trying to get that ball out of the grasp of Schickerling, it's just been knocked forward. As Mr. Jadazweni lets us know, have a look at that hard work. Kitsov getting in there, making sure that they're making an absolute nuisance of themselves.
Sorry, JD. I thought it was out.
It was always going to be a tasty battle up front.
Now we get the opportunity to see the first scrum and all
All good.
Springbok front row
Time back on.
for Western Province. No shortage of experience on that Bulls side. Johan Krobelaar making his way at this level, but Jacques van Rooyen, hugely experienced in the colours of the Lions. Made a short trip to play some club rugby up north and now back in the colours of the Bulls. And Trevor Nyakane
Now Jacques van Rooyen played for Bath, and
All square.
now Jean Skimmon's taking his place up there, and coached by Neil Hatley,
Crouch.
also South African.
Fine. Sit.
World Cup winning Springbok against World Cup winning Springbok on that far side. Kitshoff and Nyakane. Drift pass from Rikus Pretorius, and on the toe from Warwick Gelant, just out of the grasp of Siabelo Sanatla, and away goes Currie Arendse. A little handling error in there,
No,
just
leave it.
showing
Thank you.
once again, as he did
Thanks. Dankie.
during Super
on.
Rugby Unlocked, how devastating he can be on the counter-attack. Fair contest there. Look at the pace.
Yeah, Sanatla almost had it. Then Currie Arendse, he opens the taps. And look at the player. It's just the effort to get back from Gelant. And Damian Willipsa, just the ever so slight knock in there.
That's you, Bongi.
Let's go, boys!
First scrum, Rob, went down on this near side. Van Rooyen and Malherbe, the ball was available. Referees always trying not to reset.
I think once the ball is available at the 8,
Crouch.
very happily the referees would allow them to play it if
Fine.
there's no advantage accruing.
Sit. Stay, Ivan.
So going down on this side, it's Yankees away for Gelant. Beautifully dealt with by Travis Ishmael. He's quickly into his stride. Salman Murat and Siabelo Sanatla dealing with the defense. And beautiful show of the ball from Cornel Hendricks is through the gap. Looking for Currie Arendse. He's got way too much pace for the cover defense. Brilliant score from the Bulls. Outstanding in the build-up from Cornel Hendricks. And his story just gets better and better, doesn't it? Almost lost to the game through a rare condition. And now in the inside centre position and thriving.
Clever from Cornel Hendricks. He saw the Western Province defender had rushed up, closing them from the outside in. And just a small step on the inside and the perfect finishing pass. Have a look at that, back on the inside. Dan du Plessis left for dead. And the pass perfect. Currie Arendse needs no introduction to the try line.
That is a seriously impressive start to a Currie Cup career. First appearance in the competition. Beautiful counter-attack, which won his side almost 50 metres. And now on the scoreboard. Let's not forget the work done by Travis Ishmael in the return of the kick, which gave the Bulls their momentum. And Smith's conversion attempt just drifting to the right. A strong early statement from the visiting side.
It's Arendse's second intervention. It's this man, Cornel Hendricks, first. And it's led to the first try for the Bulls. Currie Arendse, his first one in Currie Cup.
Damian Willems's restart is on to the try scorer. Big tackle made on him. The Bulls lost forward in contact. It will be a Western Province scrum for the knock-on. Angelo Davids was the man herring after the kickoff. Blitzbok on Blitzbok. And both on Currie Cup debut.
It's almost though Davids feels a bit left out after the try from Arendse. So first two scrums, that second scrum, Malherbe had an almighty hit on Jacques van Rooyen, had him under a bit of pressure, and then just the boot slipped, which is why AJ Jacobs allowed them to play on. He's a wily old horse though, Jacques van Rijn, been around the block a bit.
Let's go up. Coach. Fine. Sit. 9.
Off the back from Augustus, difficult one for Yankees. Ball's gone forward. Referee Jacobs right in line with the pass.
No.
They should have got that out slightly earlier. They tried to go for the second shove. The Bulls matched it, and that one's drifted forward. And again, the battle that we mentioned up front, the two front rows. Just saw Maheba almost got Van Rijn on that previous scrum, but then the power came through from Trevor Nyakane.
You stay there. That's.
So it became a messy affair towards the end. I think Jano Augustus, if he got that out slightly earlier, they were a bit on the front foot and would have had more space out wide. Formidable front row, isn't it? Kitshoff, Manami, probably the world's best tight head in Maheba.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
Vermeulen picks up at the tail, pressure from Kolisi and Damian Willemse coming in to assist with the tackle. Bulls have done well to make their exit. Massive pressure on the scrum at first and then on the ball carrier.
Much better scrum. As the hook came, look at that power coming through from Western Province. Everything on the back foot. Dwayne's on the back foot. Smashed back in the tackle.
6.
And a lot of pressure applied in the defensive effort.
Bonambi shickling the target. Kolisi. Enriquez Pretorius.
6 blue offside.
The penalty advantage. And
Number 6
accruing
advancing before the line out is over. Offside.
against Marco van Staden. And immediately Western Province indicating that they'll have a shot at the posts.
Just 6. Yeah, but he went before them. That's your mark.
So that ball has to be out of the line out before he breaks it, and he's clearly in offside position.
Yeah, that, yep, perfect.
Damian Willemse with 49 points in his Currie Cup career. And a good strike from Willemse. Had some issues off the kicking tee in the early stage of Super Rugby Unlocked competition, but just grew with every outing. Excellent kicking performance against the Cheetahs in their last outing here at Newlands. Smith with the restart. Unforced error from the Bulls fly half. It'll be a scrum on halfway.
I think after that last scrum, Sia will be opting
Time off.
for the scrum in the middle.
Just 9 replacing his boots. Time off.
And there's nothing that can upset a coach more than a kick into touch or miss of touch.
Yeah.
Just a change of boots for Herschel Yankees. Some strapping for Dan du Plessis. A lot of anticipation around this game the entire week, Rob. And I think when the teams were selected as well, realised how much it meant to both teams, to both coaches.
Time back on.
And it divides supporters in very interesting ways as well. I was chatting to some people earlier today in the coastal town of Hermanus. They call themselves the Full Clip fans, and they are divided on who should win this one. It might have an influence on how their braai works out.
Isn't it great to have it back? That rivalry, nothing beats it in the Currie Cup. It's always good when these guys get back into that Springbok camp to have one over your mate.
Some wonderful mini battles all over this contest. We've spoken about the front rows, but the back rows as well. Sia Kolisi returning to action. And face to face at the scrum with Arno Botha, the man he replaced to make his test debut. He came off the bench against Scotland.
Straight down. Nobody moving forward.
Marco van Staden, the Springbok
Just straight down.
himself.
Let's just move it off. Yes, Stefan.
Solid from both sides. No quarter given. Or asked for from either side. And just with all that pressure, pitch ripping up. Do you think Herschel Giants just on one or two occasions can release that ball quickly? And they've opened up a slightly bigger open side with that scrum moving across.
Amazing to think that in this Currie Cup competition of 2018, Herschel Yankees wasn't getting regular starts. And a year later, he was a World Cup gold medal winner, having come off the bench in the final against England. Cleared from the base by Yankees as the scrum went down. Grubber through from Galant, finding touch just on the 22.
Well, nicely judged, and a good chase from his counterparts out wide.
That's you.
Never a bad ploy to keep the balls in their own half.
Open. I'll give you. Feet. Okay, on you.
Open up.
Some big runners in the midfield there, Matt.
Just the four-man line out, but it's one on the tap by J.D. Schickerling. Very awkward ball there.
It's a knock-on. It's a knock-on. Knock-on by 10. White.
Great anticipation from J.D. Schickerling. And just unfortunately, Willemse has been adjudged to be gone forward from the hand.
It's you.
Same system.
It's you.
Sense that Rob Kempson's happy with what we're seeing. Often you can go 20, 25 minutes without a scrum.
Crouch.
He's got his fair share today, hasn't the referee?
Fair share.
Yeah.
Fine.
In fairness to the players, they've made it easy enough. It's been a neutral battle so far, except on the Bulls pudding.
And Dwayne Vermeulen once again under massive pressure at the base of that scrum, and Western Province have a penalty.
6 white.
Sia Kolisi over the ball after the tremendous scrum from his pack. Difficult for Dwayne Vermeulen to pick that up. Straight into the traffic. The power of the scrum allows Khaleesi to get his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Fair contest. And Willemse has another opportunity.
Alvin!
Just seeing the two captains meet in the tunnel for the coin toss a little earlier. World Cup winning Springboks together, part of a same leadership team. There was a steeliness in that meeting, which said a great deal about what this contest means to them. Willemse has hooked that one away.
22.
I think Francois Herbert expression right there said it all. In derby games, you can ill afford to be missing any points.
Make sure everybody's behind you.
Willemse for Augustus. Strong leg drive over halfway. Yankees. And Willemse's hoist.
Stop 7.
Almost drifting back towards his own try line with the wind, and Currie Arendse does brilliantly under that high ball, but no one in the air from Western Province. Here's Smith.
Backwards. Okay.
And the little offload from Rikus Pretorius, a little juggle from Augustus. Penalty advantage to Western Province, shown by the referee.
No advantage. Second go, only one hand on the ball. Number 2.
In the consideration of where the ball was for Western Province, that's almost a professional foul from Johan Krovela. Placed on the ball, they'd broken through the first line of defence, and quick ball was needed. And he just has a double scratch at it. Right there.
So Willemse immediately with an opportunity to make amends for that miss. Probably about 45 meters on the angle, this kick. And this one has drifted to the right. So previous one, a hook off the tee from Willemse.
There's a bit of a swirling wind, so a tough kick compared to the previous one.
Again, it's Willemse for Augustus following a 22-meter dropout. Schikkeling. Big handoff from the lock forward. He was looking for Herschel Yankees.
General play on. Play on.
And Krobelaar in possession now after Ruan Nokia had done excellent work on the ground.
Advantage. Whoa. Thanks, guys. So there was a ruck and we've got 2 offside. Never last man's feet. Oh, yeah. We've got blood.
Trevor Nyakane having to get some attention.
Clearly in an offside position. Kitsoff does very well to get that one back.
Just put it down.
As he gets
We've
it
got
out,
blood, so
offside
just put the ball
position from Johan Krobbelaar.
down. So we've got, Raksvorm, and then with Raksvorm, and then 2 was never onside. He just played from that side. Offside.
There's just one stole the ball, fell on the ground.
Now I've got 1 over the ball contact. So offside. Just the penalties we break now. That's it. Like
We'll bring on Marcel van der Merwe.
is he? Is he on? Thank you. No.
Experienced man to call on with the departure of Trevor Nyakane. Damian Willems's penalty kick setting up the line out about 18 meters out from the Bulls line.
That's you.
Set up my boys. Marcelli, let's go, Marcelli.
Extended conversation there between the referee
JD.
during
JD.
that stoppage
Six.
with the Bulls captain Dwayne Vermeulen just asking for clarity on those breakdown decisions.
Hij komt hier voor het doel. Six. Ja, op de
Schikkeling leaping high and Western Province gaining some traction through their maul. Mbonambi off the back and then Herschel Yankees. Beautiful little dart from here, Mies Willemse and Gelant. The juggle, the pass out of the back and lost forward.
If only he knows it. Western Province know it. Some slick handling skills. Willemse out the back. And Gelant almost getting it picture perfect. A very difficult one though for Angela Davids. Oh, so close it was.
That's you.
So to scrum a little bit under pressure on their own ball, the Bulls. And Marcel van der Merwe, he's going to find himself in the cauldron very shortly.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Massive scrum from Western Province and they get their just reward.
And that they did. It was always going to be a tough ask. New prop on the field. Trevor was under a bit of pressure before he went up for that flat. And Marcel van der Merwe was always going to feel the Stephen Kitsoff coming at full power. As soon as the foot comes up for the hook, it comes straight through the middle. You can see it disintegrates behind Marcel van der Merwe.
6.
Strong scrum from the Springbok front row.
Just let Bongi step off because the Blue Bulls is on the line.
Shallow move. 6.
Over the 15 they go. Van Rijn the target for Western Province. Yankees digging and eventually getting his hands on the ball. Currie from Kitsoff. Quicker ball this time for Yankees. Little glance away to his right, then finding his captain Siya Kolisi. Yankees. Bulls defense. Holding admirably. Quickly back on their feet as well to make another challenge. While Herber can find no way through. Cure does well defensively on the fringes. To the left they go now, Yankees. And Augustus. That was centimetres short. Now Kitshoff. Jantjies, Kolisi. Ball coming out untidily for Herschel Jantjies.
Back lost forward, no advantage, going back.
Ball lost forward is the call from AJ Jacobs, but he was playing an advantage to Western Province. They come back for a penalty.
It's great defence from this Bull side. Jano Augustus, unfortunately, just losing it forward. He was inches short earlier.
Yeah. Just pop down the side.
Jacques van Rooyen, was it just making that try-scoring challenge on Jano Augustus? Repelling phase after phase of assault on their line.
Now the collision's tangible.
You want to come down? Let's come down. Offside 6. But you formed it.
We're just waiting for the scrum to be called. Good call, I would think, under the circumstances. Since that last scrum, they had the Bulls under immense pressure. Need a collective effort. As Marcel van der Merwe has a chat to his troops.
Okay. Police op.
Travis Ishmael sounds very much like a dislocation of that right shoulder. Just listening to the medics.
And the collisions were tangible, the way they climbed into each other. It's injured somewhere in all those phases that the Bulls managed to repel the Western Province advances.
Is he up?
So Marco Janse van Vuren is making his way on. A fascinating chat with Jake White before this game. He played
Time back on.
in the number 9 jersey in the colours of the Lions. And many compared him to a young Joost van der Westhuizen. Physically imposing, good boot on him, left boot. And being used for now as a utility back, but a very versatile player to have in the ranks.
And that left boot is a big one.
No idea. Here we go.
And pressure is on. Ascendancy for Western Province in the scrum. Not so much on their own ball, but certainly on the Bulls put in.
Crouch.
Expect a double shove.
Bind. Set.
It's just folded. Surely he's got to blow the whistle. That would be dangerous. Jantjies. Little dummy in through the half gap. Still the Bulls' defence holding firm. Just a metre short.
Other side, Chris! Other side!
Hear the defensive instructions being screamed out in this cavernous stadium. And finally, the wall breaks and Western Province have a try through number 8, Jano Augustus.
I've been short with 2 attempts. He knocked on the one, inches short on the other this time round.
Yeah.
Rips it off Kitshoff as he's trying to drive him forward in support. And Sia Kolisi, the ever-present captain, Augustus cleverly rips it as he's going to ground. And Western Province have their first try with a sustained effort on the try line of the Bulls.
And a 5th try in Currie Cup rugby for Jano Augustus. This is just his 8th appearance in the competition. You'd have to say, Rob, an important score for Western Province and for their forward pack, having asserted themselves and dominated for large periods of this first half, to not come away with points. Would have been difficult to deal with. Brilliant try early on in the game from Currie for the Bulls. And now Western Province with their first. And the conversion from Willemse gives them a 5-point advantage.
Sustained pressure it has been. And Augustus takes it from Kitshoff, gets Western Province on the ball. And a few psychological battles would have been won. One aspect is certainly the scrum. Trevor Nyakane is now back on the field.
Smith's restart and knocked forward by Willemse, and a man in front of the ball, clearly offside. And immediately the Bulls indicate they'll have a shot at goal. They haven't been down here for a while, want to take immediate advantage.
Now, if you look at the possession, almost 70% of it, and then just the errors with regards to his hands positioning.
Can you just get the message over, if you can?
Territory and possession all in favour of Western Province. So a good idea just to calm things down and let Chris Smith have an opportunity.
In the colours of the Pumas, Chris Smith was the leading point scorer in the Supersport Rugby Challenge 2018, 131 points in that competition in 10 appearances. And swirling in the wind. Looked as though it was heading straight over the middle of the crossbar, and a late swing away from the uprights. Willemse way downfield with a 22-metre dropout. It's David Creel. Huge hoist onto Warwick Gelant. It's just a fraction deep, but Gelant hauled into touch.
Just make sure. Out.
Arno Buerta unceremoniously dumps him into touch.
Is this middle?
Bit of a mismatch.
Bit of attention being given to Marco van Staden. Dwayne Vermeulen taking the opportunity to rally his forward pack. They will have a line out now.
He's got the whole team in there, Matty. A couple of stern words. It's almost a rare opportunity on behalf of Western Province.
Stay on him.
This Province pack has matched them so far in the forward battle.
5. Let's switch on.
5-man line out called by the Bulls. Excellent line out won by Walt Steenkamp. Unable to punch a hole through the midfield defence. Grobbelaar. Good slick service at the base of the rucks. I think it was Augustus who came through to make a telling tackle and slow the pace of the delivery.
Ball's out. Left it.
Van Sale, the chip kick over the top, and Sinatla under pressure finds Galant.
Stop. 5. That's it.
A couple of anxious moments there for Western Province. Creel. And he's ripped into touch. A very similar tackle to the one made by Arno Botha on Warwick Galant.
I wanted to limit
Dan Duplessis this time delivering on David Creel.
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling out there, no question about that. We saw Galant being tossed into touch. Dan Duplessis felt about time a Bulls player had the same done to him.
Yeah. Watch. Promise.
Kitshoff, the recipient. Short ball at the front of the line out from Mbonambi van Rijn.
All of you, stop.
Galant's kick. That goes Curtly Arendse. Creel.
Okay, keep moving, Blue, stop. Thank you.
And a huge boot from the Bulls fullback.
Well done.
All the way back up to halfway.
Watch it, Brown. Yeah. Be calm. JD. 5.
David Creel, another on Currie Cup debut.
David, John David. Good call, JD.
Let's go. I'm dealing with it.
We're going. Let's walk. Take a jump through.
Yeah.
To the top they go. Damian Willemse. Quick to pounce on the loose ball. Kitshoff. Clean from Mbonambi. Difficult ball for Willemse to take. Dealt with it beautifully, and it's an excellent kick. Turning Curtly Arendse, and a favourable bounce as well.
Much better. Galant driving them back also with those kicks. And that one's pinpoint from Willemse, ensuring that the territory remains intact with regards to Western Province. With 22 of the Bulls. Good pressure being asserted by them.
More than a third of the first half being played in the Bulls' 22-metre area. It also says a lot for the quality of the Bulls' defence. Down near their own try line. Van Sale shaping for the clearance kick. And Siobela Sinatla happy to get things going with a quick line-out throw for Warwick Galant. Just seconds remaining in this first half.
It's used 9.
Shikalik brings a good tackle out of Trevor Nyakane. And Willemse, the speculative drop goal. Chris Smith more than happy to kick the ball into touch to bring an end to the first half. One try apiece, the first of the match scored by Bulls left winger Curtly Arendse after a superb break from Cornel Hendricks. And then a try from Western Province number 8, Jano Augustus. A penalty and a conversion from the boot of Damian Willemse. Half-time at DHL Newlands. Western Province 10, the Bulls 5. Half-time in this Carling Currie Cup match from DHL Newlands. It's Western Province who lead the Bulls by 10 points to 5. One try apiece. And the first try set up by this outstanding break from Cornel Hendricks. Beautifully floated pass as well. And Currie Arendse, who earlier in the first half had produced a superb counter-attack from his own 22-metre area. Way too much pace for the Western Province cover defence.
Yeah, also good from Cornel Hendricks. Just saw the bit of a loop in the defence. Back on the inside from Dan du Plessis. The man on the inside was ahead of him, which created the space for Hendricks, and Arendse with the pace to do the rest.
And Western Province's try followed a sustained period of pressure down in the Bulls' 22-metre area. Jano Augustus, the number 8, the man they called Trokkie, ripping the ball off Stephen Kitsoff as he came in behind to support. And on hand to score Western Province's only try.
Now, to sustain pressure from the Province pack, and a psychological win from that pressure. So stats make for interesting reading, particularly if you look at the possession and the territory. Everything in favour of Western Province. A couple of handling errors, but in view of the possession they have, you can understand exactly why they sit there. And a couple of penalties in the scrums for the Blue Bulls have Western Province in the lead at half-time.
You asked.
Big shout! Give it up!
So we delivered.
Wow! What about that for a shot?
Sky Sport is bringing back the fifth.
Good, and he's pumped up.
The bang.
Oh! Stand and deliver.
The crash.
Yes, over!
Crashes into the stumps.
And the smash.
How big's that? How big is that?
KFC Big Bash returns December 10th live Sky Sport. Coverage brought to you by Chemist Warehouse.
Andrew and Maggie hoped their retirement would look like this.
Here's to us.
Or this.
It's almost lunchtime.
But with 3 orphaned grandchildren...
You don't mean they're coming to stay?
Live.
Live?
Their retirement looks a lot more like this.
He's rather good, isn't he?
Sounds like a flatulent Labrador. I have difficulty relating with people that short.
Next of kin. Wednesday on James.
That's a glorious goal!
This is New Zealand's premier men's football competition.
What heart, what commitment, what drive.
Where the finest local talent showcase our beautiful game.
Here's a chance.
Oh, and that's it up in the net!
The ISPS Hunter Men's Premiership. Live on Sky Sports 7 BN Sports.
National Geographic investigates some of the most enduring mysteries. Unlock lost treasures.
Why people love Egypt? Because it's full of secrets and magic.
Uncover ancient enigmas.
Do you think Vlad's curse has affected Bucharest?
And unearth fresh clues from the past. Ancient Mysteries and Lost Treasures starts December 1 on National Geographic.
News just hitting our inboxes tonight.
Breakdown is your home for all things rugby.
Just give all of us this little moment. Are you done?
They talk the talk because they walk the walk.
I'm fired up tonight, team. I really am. I've got a lot to say about a lot of things.
Debate, analysis, and advice.
I will tell you exactly what happened. There's a power game going on.
There you go!
Stay in the know. Breakdown, live Tuesday, Sky Sport 1.
Damn, the girls still give me goosebumps.
There hasn't been a new Grace Davis record in a decade, and the fans want one.
Let me do my job, and you do yours. Get her coffee, Kleenex, Kotex, and whatever else the hell we've been paying you to do for the last 6 months.
I've been here for 3 years. You get paid? I thought you were an intern. My life is a joke! Ugh!
The High Note, now showing on Sky Box Office.
A much anticipated series, Australia-India.
How good is this? International cricket is back with the clash of 2 cricket titans.
Unbelievable!
The finest exponents.
This could be out, it is out!
If
Every ball's a story now.
Heart in your mouth, fist in the air, prime time cricket. Savor every ball on Sky Sport. Second ODI today, live Sky Sport 2.
.40 to play at DHL Newlands in the Carling Currie Cup game. Western Province lead by 10 points to 5. Katua Low is with some of the coaching staff. Counter-attack from his own 22-metre.
Get out of half, we've been down in the half, penalty after penalty after penalty, 10-5, not good enough from our side. Second half, we have to play their side. We can't get penalty after penalty if you get them win the match.
And anything unexpected coming from their side?
Oh, look, they bring the physicality today. You can see they're climbing in. It's a physical contest. You could see on Dwayne there on each other. It's a good game. It's North versus South. Good game, and we must be better the second half to win this match.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Darby, your thoughts on that first half performance?
Well, at this stage, leading at the score on the scoreboard, but there's still a lot of mistakes from our side.
What would you like to correct in the second half?
I think a little bit more direction from our 10 and 15. You can see Herschel's hesitating which side to play. But I think if we get more direction, we can find space a bit better.
Darby, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
A fascinating second 40 minutes awaits us at DHL Newlands. Sia Kolisi, good to see him back in action after a sustained period on the sideline during Super Rugby Unlocked.
Good to see him getting around the park. He's making some huge hits out there, particularly on his opposite mate, Dwayne. So, be interesting to see what tactics Jake White has asked him to employ in the second half. Certainly the discipline is one area, but the territorial game is one that they're losing at this present time.
6 penalties conceded by the Bulls in the first half, just 2 by Western Province. And Damien Willemse, who succeeded with a penalty and a conversion in the first half, also missed 2 attempts at goal. Gets the second half underway for the Bulls. Chris Smith missed a conversion attempt of the try from Currie Orenson, also unsuccessful with a penalty attempt. So, tricky night for the kickers. Warwick Galant popping up into that first receiver position, then the carry from Kitsoff. Bulls succeeding in slowing the ball up. That kick charge down. Look at it spinning like a top on the turf. Well handled by Van Rooyen. Ruan Nokia. The carry for the Bulls. Ivan van Sail waits. And Smith. Currie Orenson gives chase. And Warwick Galant. Ball went forward off his hands. Here's Arno Buerta and Orenson. But the tackle from behind from Siabelo Sanatla as he received the pass from Buerta. Nyakane. Hendricks, tackle from Yankees. The inside ball is a good one for Ivan van Sail. High tackle.
High shot.
That's good rugby from both sides. There's no question that the physical component of this game is right up there. And certainly Western Province, their breakdown area has been superb this evening. As Ivan van Sail gets his half gap, and Du Plessis a little bit above the shoulder height.
Dan Du Plessis, the man penalised. Chris Smith, who had a shot at goal immediately after the Western Province try. following the kickoff from about 15 metres in from the right-hand touchline. It was a little closer than this one. This just over 45 metres on the angle. Second opportunity for the Bulls fly half to get his team back within 2, which he duly does. Started it at that left-hand upright. This time judging the swirling breeze to perfection. First points of the evening for Chris Smith. Smith, the recipient of the kickoff, and it's Marco Janssen van Vuren with that big left boot of his down to halfway. Claimed by Willemse and then Augustus. Stopped in his tracks by Johan Krobelaar. Willemse held up by Arno Botha. The Bulls come piling through.
No.
Willemse did well to present that ball. Yankees and Galant skewing the kick, but it works out pretty well for Western Province as Sanatla piles through.
Good counter.
Well, a strong counter ruck from Western Province. And then brilliant work over the ball by Marco van Staden, winning his first turnover penalty.
Yeah, first time I've really seen him over the ball. That's how good the effect of the breakdown has been from Western Province this evening. Perhaps the right call towards the end of it, although Province did counter-ruck this. A number of players going off their feet there. Over the ball.
6.
And Van Staden, he just needs a little sniff. Not going to move that man.
Here with the take. Bulls unable to grab any momentum through a maul. Set up the pod, which includes the captain, Dwayne Vermeulen.
Good counter ruck. Lost forward.
And the counter ruck from Bongio Banambi means the ball kicks up loose and Herschel Yankees bundled into touch.
Good counter ruck by 2.
Bongio Manambi and then Jan Augustus doing excellent work at that breakdown.
He's having a fine game this evening, is Mr. Augustus. All over the shop. You can see the power coming through from Nibanambi, creating a hassle at the back.
It looks like 4.
And a gentle toe through. Almost an educated toe through from Mr. Augustus.
Arno Botha setting up the ruck, just creating some extra space here for Ivan van Zyl or Chris Smith to make the clearance. Sanatla, Galant, and Stedman Gans had done brilliant work in chasing the kick. Big hit on Warwick Galant from Jacques van Rooyen as he got the pass away. Willemse. Another penalty going the way of the Bulls. It's Trevor Nyakane over the ball and up with it as well. Left the field briefly in the first half. Blood injury.
Thank you. I want to clear that.
Newton for shade looks on. Trevor Nyakane. There's that tackle from Jacques van Rooyen.
Rasta, just want to clear that tackle. Yes.
The attempt to wrap the arms is the important part. Mr. Rasta Rashavenga having a look at that.
Jacques van Rooyen's
Move.
tackle is
Thank
the
you.
one being adjudicated. It was a fraction late. He was committed to it. What they'll be concerned about is, was it just a shoulder charge with a feeble attempt to wrap that left arm?
Now the contact is below the shoulder. But it's the wrapping of the arms, as Matthew says, vitally important.
So now holding and sacking the lifters as well to their supporters.
Okay. Just want to clear that tackle. Okay.
And if this goes against the Bulls, it will be
No problem.
quite a blow to their ambitions in winning this game.
Rasta Rashavenga is the TMO adjudicating this. Contact is really on the shoulder, isn't it?
And Geland.
Yes, AJ. Yeah. So we've got foul play by blue 3. The point of contact obviously is in the head area. So we need to consider a yellow card for this foul play. We've got foul play by blue 3. He does connect with the player, number 5, blue 1, sorry, and he makes contact within the head neck area.
Okay, so we're talking about the yellow against blue for a dangerous tackle.
Yes, AJ.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Rasta, so what I'm hearing is we've got initial point of contact was against the head.
Yes, AJ.
Level of force, high.
We've got a high degree of force.
Okay, is there any mitigation factor?
No, there's no mitigation factor.
So we've got contact against the head with no, with high level of danger, and there's no mitigation.
Yes, AJ.
So the words I'm hearing is a red card.
Yes, AJ.
There's no mitigation. Thank you very much. Okay. Number 1. Okay, so we've got number 1, contact to the head with extreme danger, with no mitigation factor. Unfortunately not.
Yeah, I don't tend to agree with that decision at all. I think the impact was on the shoulder. I don't think he made contact with the head. And I think a yellow card would have been a suitable result, but certainly not a red card. At the same stage, Geland was falling over into the tackle area, and that is mitigation.
We'll ask the doc. This is middle.
So that the first angle suggests that there may have been contact with the head, but it's that second angle, to me anyway, shows contact on the shoulder. Yes, it was dangerous, and but the decision has been made, and Jacques van Rooyen red carded, and the next time there is a scrum, the Bulls will have to bring a replacement prop forward onto the field. It would be Gerard Steenkamp. Yankees, Geland. That's his pass away for Pretorius. Yankees. Another ferocious contest at that ruck. Schikkerling. Beautiful pickup from Ernst van Rooyen. Kicks off again with the carry. Yankees. Pretorius. Geland. Puts it in for Sia Kolisi and Sia Bellasanatla to chase.
Stay on.
And even Van Sale secures the ball on the ground.
Okay, ball is out.
Cornel Hendricks filling in at scrum half. Evan van Sale limped to the base of this ruck and still hobbling a little bit as he makes his clearance.
As Van Sale collects this ball, it's Sanatla affects the tackle. And Khaleesi again, he's really had a decent game considering he's been out for a period of time. Some movement on the bench.
Let's go, boys.
Looks like Ambrose Papier might be getting his opportunity soon enough.
Six-man line out for Western Province. And Ruan Nokia doing brilliant work. A couple of little fumbles backwards from the Stormers and pounced on by Nokia. Smith.
Now you can go. Okay, move one.
And Sanatla giving chase. So to Angelo Davids.
Keep moving.
Smith now giving chase to his own kick. Willemse.
Keep moving one.
Galant. Orense back in his own 22, not opting for the mark. And Sanatla just inside the margin of touch.
Good turnover.
Turnover after the carry from Jano Augustus. Strong work from Arno Buerter again to follow up the kick. And the Bulls have a penalty.
7 on the ball.
A little bit of a change in momentum considering that the red card's gone against the Bulls. And Arno Buerter just getting the Bulls back onto the front foot. Sanatla gives it back. Augustus has been strong all evening. It's very good over the ball from Currie Orense. Bit of a shove in the back.
Is it you?
Ford's just taking a breather before they get to the line out. Let's just have a look at that steal again from Currie Orense.
Spin over the ball.
It ends up in front of him.
Okay, switch on.
Hugely important line out here for the Bulls. Down a man for the rest of the game. Since they've got to make this count. It was a good read from Western Province. Murat,
line is yours.
Who got up to tap it back, but it's
on the line.
Still going the way of the Bulls.
Now the second steal of the game for them. The difficulty the Bulls might be having is that they've got that prop of the field who anchors the back of the lineout. So that's now been taken over by Arno Buerter.
Walt Steenkamp with the take that time. And the Maul working its way towards the line. Even Van Snail darting. Strong defence from Sia Khaleesi again. Also Siabelo Sanatla. And this time the penalty going the way of Western Province. Stephen Kitsoff, prominent again.
Another very difficult man to move. 120 odd kilograms of him.
here.
Dwayne Vermeulen's getting a bit of attention.
Hey? Yeah.
And he's said not to be part of the tackle. He certainly seemed to be.
Player down there. Yeah.
A replacement now for Western Province, Ruan Nel. Into the midfield, it's Dan Duplessis who is being replaced.
Still subs. Waiting for him. Thank you. Okay. Time back on. Numbers 4. 4.
Four-man line this time for Bongyumbo Nambi.
He's moving off the mark the whole time. So.
Duaymat and Schikkeling cleanly down for Herschel Yankees. Willemse testing David Creel under the high ball. Not found wanting. Krobala. Looked like a slightly reckless charge from Salman Murat flying up out of the defensive line and then lost forward by Stedman Gans.
So it's off blue, then white, no advantage.
Yeah, I think you're being polite and saying it's reckless.
Come down. 9 blue off.
Lost a little bit of traction. And he's very lucky he ducked underneath that.
Yeah. Happy with that tackle, Master?
Precious little opportunity for Stedman Gans. What an impression he made during Super Rugby Unlocked as the Bulls made their way to that title.
6 blue.
One Springbok scrum half replaced by another. Ivan van Sail replaced.
Okay. Still time off.
Marco van Staden has the man that's been taken off for the red card.
And then Ambrose Papier.
The tackle is cleared. The tackle is cleared. Player ducked into it. It's not high tackle there.
Replacing Ivan van Sail at scrum half.
So, Arno Buerta, back from his stint in Munster. He had a couple of very successful seasons.
Okay, let's go.
And back in the Bulls jersey. And really adding his weight to the contest, as has Janu Augustus, his man on the opposite side. Has been strong in defence and some really strong carries. And there he's met by that man, Augustus.
That's you.
Discipline, mate. Discipline. Watch your angles. Same system.
So a huge test here for Gerard Steenkamp on Currie Cup debut. Squaring up to Frans Malherbe on that far side of the scrum. Skara Ntubeni, Jaco Kutsia being given their final instructions.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Scrum advancing forward and Willemse looping around Pretorius. Murat. That's Steenkamp. Stopping him. Gelant. And Pretorius. Strong tackle from Ambrose Papier as Pretorius try to make the handoff. Kits off. Squares up to Dwayne Vermeulen. Bongyumbo Nambi. Smith in with the tackle. And isolated in the contact. Big effort over the ball. He had a long way to go down, did Walt Steenkamp.
Well, the margins are small. Here's the home coaching staff. There's Jake and his merry gang. good to see Damien Willems also just growing in confidence as games go on through the season.
Say again. Number 2 and number 6.
Very good to get over that ball. Isolated. McLean's just not quick enough.
Who's the captain now?
Let's go, Bola, let's go!
I take it that you...
A couple of substitutions being made by John Dobson for Western Province. Sia Kolisi,
5.
excellent. Just under an hour on his return from injury, replaced by Jaco Kutsia. Skaran Tubeni on for Bongyo Monambi.
Numbers, 6 against 5. Numbers. You've got a scrum off. I didn't see it, sorry.
Free kick awarded, and Ambrose Papier makes 10 or 12 meters of ground. Trevor Nyakani carries it on. Papier back in position. Here's Vermeulen. And the interception made by Ruan Nel, chased down by Currie Arendse.
Ball is out.
Then Ntubeni for Murat. Willemse. And now it's Angelo Davids giving chase. The bounce is kind, and Davids is in.
Out of nowhere, Western Province. It was Ruanel onside. At any stage was he onside. That's the start of the try. And David Willemse again with those long raking kicks. Pace of plenty. Angelo Davids has got, as Currie Arendse said earlier, Davids gets his opportunity.
Well, it can behave unpredictably at times, this rugby ball, but just a perfect bounce for Angelo Davids, going at full tilt. So 2 Currie Cup debutants, try scorers here at DHL Newlands this evening. Currie Arendse, the first try of the match for the Bulls, and now Angelo Davids crossing for Western Province's second. And on the hour mark, Damien Willemse with a kick from the right-hand touchline to take his team beyond the 7-point margin. And that's pulled across the face of the uprights. So still in touch here, the Bulls.
In full flight, not quite the swan dive.
Changes for the Bulls now as well. Sintu Manjezi is on in jersey number 19. Walt Steenkamp has left the field. Dwayne Vermeulen also having departed the scene. Nizam Carr is the man who's replaced him. Buerta unable to make any ground. Smith, Hendricks, beautiful step past the tackle of Herschel Yankees. Papier, done by Manjezi and Buerta. Little juggle from Nizam Carr.
No, leave it! Tackler is not out.
Krubala. Papier Smith. And David Creel. Tackle from Ruan now.
Looks like Ernst van Rijn managed to get over that. All these small little battles within the battles, and they've been won by Western Province at this present time, which gives them that nice little cushion of 7 points. Great tackle, straight in over the ball, no question.
Remember your role now, eh? Five. Switch on, Divan. So stay on the line. Line is no. Line is yours, and then you come a little bit closer, so we don't move over.
Second time they've employed that little throw to the front for Stephen Kitsoff. Pretorius. Brought down by Nokia. Quick ball for Yankees. Been prominent as Jano Augustus. Try scorer in the first half for Western Province.
Time off.
Unfortunately knocking that one forward in the tackled area.
It's just interesting how often Western Province are trying to bring him into play as a carrier. Often seen him pop up in that midfield.
Here he is, Jano Augustus. Strong carries, it's so close to two tries on the try line. Eventually got his try. It really has put a great shift in there. The try that he scored. Ball carries are plenty and strong on defence. A nice mix of this loose trio.
Good. Come back on. Here we go.
Change has been made at fly half for Western Province as well. Damien Willemse replaced by Tim Sweel.
That's you.
He's started his career down here in the Western Cape before going to Harlequins and the Newcastle Falcons in England. Recently returned.
Let's square up. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Zankar off the back of a solid scrum. Smith's kick.
Keep moving wide.
Read by Kalanks. It's brilliantly done by David Creel. The wind continues to swirl inside Newlands.
It's a pretty handy return kick, Chris Smith.
Another five-man line out and another little throw to the front. It hasn't worked for Western Province that time. The Bulls wise to the ploy.
Gerald Sternkamp. Fresh legs on the field. You see, third time they've done it. Tackle goes in, Sternkamp goes straight over the top.
Middle, yeah. White, 9-4. Time off. Number 9 and number 4. Sub.
And yet more changes. It's Salman Murat, who will be replaced by Chris van Sale. Herschel Yankees by Godlin Masimla. Scrum half.
Thank you. Time back on.
Kobola. Finds into Manjesi. And the call from the referee is it was a late sack of the ball, so there's a penalty advantage here for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Papier, Nyakane. And then Steenkamp. Come the other way through Papier and Smith. Beautiful little show of the ball, and then Hendricks. Nyakane out the back for Smith, and beautifully over the top for Currie. Really energetic and enterprising work here from the 14-man Bulls. Continue to build. Buerta. Papier. Manjesi.
Tackler. Playing advantage, tackler too slow.
The tackler not rolling, so the previous penalty advantage was called over. They have another one here, do the Bulls. Smith, beautiful ball for Stedman Gans. And the finish from Currie Arendse is brilliant. Superb from the Bulls. A man down, kept the ball in hand. Asked plenty of questions of the Western Province defence and eventually found the opening. Wonderful pass from Smith, and so too from Gans.
Wave after wave of these Bulls players, the forwards gaining some traction, getting through a number of tackles and just getting the momentum forward for the backs to unleash their pace. And Currie Arendse makes it an easy enough conversion, you'd think, for Chris Smith, and a vital one it'll be.
Now Chris Smith so prominent in the build-up to that try with a kick to draw level. And there'll be about 11 minutes to play. Flags up. It's 15-all at Newlands.
Thank you.
All those carries from the forward. And spoke about Smith, a lovely pass over the top to gain that momentum. Arendse gets his second for the evening.
Time back on.
Frans Malherbe makes way for Neertling Fouchier as Tim Swiel makes the restart. Arendse, 2 tries on his Currie Cup debut. His clearance kick not finding touch. Galant inside for Ruan Nel. Masimla. Swiel. And then Schikkeling. Masimla for Swiel again. Augustus driving the legs through contact.
Never on the ball, not on the ball, on the body.
Swiel and Warwick Galant. Here is Sanatla, and Nel steps one and finds Ernst van Rijn to his left, and that's an emphatic response from Western Province.
Quality try that is from Western Province, taking it left and right and utilising the big man out wide. Not very often you get to score a try. Creating the space on the outside was Galant. Ruan Nel did exceptionally well back on the inside, and then gives an open try line to Ernst van Rijn to run in. Now exceptionally well to get back on the inside to create the extra man on the outside.
Tim Sweel then, just a metre in from the left-hand touchline. Just a couple of steps. And hooked away to the left. The Bulls will be buoyed by the manner in which they made their score, and they'll get to kick off and gain some territory. Wonderful step from Ruanel in the build-up to the try. Godlin Masimla just asking for some reinforcement on the right side of that ruck for him to make his clearance. Creel caught and isolated.
One on the ball, not a tackler. There you go.
Second steal from Stephen Kitsoff. Just maybe an error of judgment there from David Creel. You've got to get at least one pass to the inside of the field just to get away from that chasing rabbit. Of course, Angela Davids just gets the tackle in. This time around, there's no question. Kitsoff was not part of the tackle.
A slab of granite. Cornel Els replacing Johan Krobelaar hooker for the Bulls. Tubeni. Strong challenge from the Bulls at line-out time. Western Province come pouring through as Sintu Manjesi secures the ball, but just a metre from his own line. Chris Smith right back on the dead ball line.
Thank you.
To make his clearance. Angelo Davids. Galant. And here's Ruanel. Stedman Gans and Kurtley Orense are working hard on defence, and Orense just unable to evade the clutches of Siobelo Sonatla. Gans. Nyakane. Chris Smith just took his eye off the ball, but then comes away with the break. Brilliant work from Smith, and here's Nizam Kaur. Bulls flooding into the breakdown. They had the penalty advantage here.
From the side and never on your feet.
What brilliant work from Chris Smith after fumbling the ball initially. Going back to fetch it and sliding his way through the defensive line.
Well, there's time. It's always that tough decision. And this time around, they've backed their forward pack. There's Smith. The defence just two missed tackles from Western Province. They can LA4. There's the third one. Smith does well, as does Carr. Runs straight off the shoulder, keeps the momentum going, and Masimla is definitely off his feet and diving onto the player.
Five.
No question about the penalty.
Five. On the line, sorry.
So Cornel Els, first line out throw for him, such an important one. Manjesi with the take. Another advantage going the way of the Bulls.
Advantage right collapsing.
And to the short side goes Ambrose Papier. Els.
Release.
Nobody committing over the ball. Manjesi taken down by Ntubeni. Nyakane.
Playing second advantage offside.
Second penalty advantage. Western Province really are going to have to watch their discipline here.
Second advantage, number 12.
Inching their way with every carry towards the Western Province line. Sintumanjezi. Another meter and a half, one.
Still on advantage.
10 phases and still they drive. Just a phenomenal attitude from this Bulls team since losing Jacques van Rooyen. Absolutely never say die attitude.
Still on advantage.
Chris Smith wants the ball now. The forwards still want to have their say. Smith has it and looks for the cross kick. It goes wide and the try is scored. Brilliant from Chris Smith and Marco Janse van Vuuren.
Come on, Chris, come on.
Excellent work done by the Bulls forwards, drawing in the defensive line. They call it an Aussie because it's slightly boring, but at the end result definitely wasn't. That's Chris Smith across to his man Marco Janse van Vuuren. The forwards did the hard yards up front, and the backs have scored the try out wide. Exactly what Jake White and his Chargers would have loved.
Now Chris Smith, after this score from Marco Janse van Vuuren, will have a kick from about 4 meters in from touch to take the lead. By the time he's kicked it, there'll be just about 2 minutes left to play. Couple of misses earlier in the game from Chris Smith, but those will quickly be forgotten if he can coax this one between the uprights. It hasn't been an easy night for the kickers. This one he has managed to sneak in. Brilliant kick from Chris Smith. Bulls in the lead. 2 minutes to play.
3 tries apiece is just the conversion that separates them.
Sweel's restart. Siabela Senatla claiming that he was obstructed as he tried to chase the kick. He's not getting anything from the assistant referee. And Ambrose Papier makes the clearance kick. Western Province needs something special now.
Having a bit of a conference, so this potentially could be their last opportunity. Time to speed the game up, not slow it down.
Ernst van Rijn. Scudden to Benny. Working away from the maul. Sweel. Here's Galant. Away by Pretorius. Here's Senatla now. And ripped away in contact. Carr. Huts. And here the screams through the referee's mic of keep the ball, but Ambrose Papier has opted for the kick deep into Western Province territory. And Ruanel sets off on counter-attack. Spots a couple of forwards in front of him, but losing his footing as he tried to make the step. A long way to travel now for Western Province. Sweel flings the pass away for Angelo Davids. It's a man down for Western Province, injured. Looks like Warwick Galant. Sweel. Now Senatla as the hooter sounds. Can't get away from Stedman Kans. Masimla. Nell.
Okay. Get away, Tucker. Stay.
Anxious moment there for Western Province. Thought they might have lost the ball at that breakdown. Ntubeni gets his offload away for Netlin Fouchier. Warwick Galant is hobbling off the field. Will take his place in the line. Whistle goes. And the final whistle goes. It's an absolutely superb win from the Bulls. Lost Jacques van Rooyen to a red card. Russell Winter and Jake White and Nollis Marais, Chris Rousseau all celebrating, and well they might. There was plenty in this game, especially after the meeting in Super Rugby Unlocked up at Loftus Versfeld. And the character shown, the defensive effort, absolutely brilliant from the Bulls. In the face of adversity, they found a way to win, and that says a great deal about the attitude of this team and the trust that they have in each other. 3 tries apiece. In the end, it came down to a crucial conversion. Full time at DHL Newlands, Western Province 20, the Bulls 22.